company information, and in the company information, we were seeing this what all information they have for the particular company. So what I will do is I will you guys just open salesforce.com for you and log into Salesforce. Once you will log in into Salesforce,
H2 class. H2.
okay, once you will log in, I'll share my browser to you. So here is my browser. Okay, so the last time when I just close this browser or when I logged out from this profile, the setup was open. So whatever the last application will be open, once you will log in, it your Salesforce system will memorize and it will just land you over there. We have discussed that. So we have to go company information. Okay, so let's go into company information. Okay, so here we were discussing the details of a company. We already discussed about what are these user licenses, permission set licenses, feature licenses, and users based entitlement. So these licenses, so this user licenses are like Salesforce just give particular one kind of particular licenses based on the type of license we use. So Salesforce being so mostly you will see most of the organization will be having this license. It is saying ki, what uh, what all things you will be using of the Salesforce. So this, if your organization have the Salesforce, so mostly though if you'll create a user out of this license, then that user will have that user can have I mean most of the features which can be assigned of the Salesforce. Okay, and if you will have this license external app login. Okay, so this external app login license is nothing but saying ki your application have uh, any external app can log into Salesforce. Okay, so that you can see like how many users. So this total licenses is nothing but how many users can be created to log in into Salesforce using this license. Okay, so just to summarize, we can say like the Salesforce. So this is the one which we use mostly. I mean, most of the organization use. So you can see how many we can create. So this being our developer. What do we say? Developer account. Salesforce have provided us two licenses. So one license is already used when you log in, when you create Salesforce account, the user which get created, like if you remember when we created the developer account, we gave one email address and also associated to that one user got created, and that user is using this particular license. So one user is using that license and one license is remaining. So one more user we can create out of this Salesforce. Okay, this is clear to you guys, user licenses?
Yes.
Yes, bro.
Okay, then we discussed what is the permission set licenses. It is nothing but uh, setting different kind of permissions, like in different kinds of permission set for users. Like this particular user can be Analytic Cloud Explorer and all. So we can just assign set of licenses. So when we are assigning a license, set of licenses, suppose we are allowing the customer to use different feature of what do we say, Salesforce. So we are saying like when we are assigning a user Analytic Cloud Builder, he will be entitled to use Analytic Cloud Building feature. When we will assign this Analytic Cloud Explorer, he will be entitled to use this. But you can see like these two licenses are disabled, so we cannot use these anymore. It's not available with our account. Maybe it's not available with the developer's account, but if your company or if your organization needs those set of licenses, it could be available to them. Then we have B2B buyer manager set one seat. There is different kind of license, permission set license, which if you can assign it to user. So these licenses are basically related to a company, okay, and that license can be associated to a user when you will create them. So there could be multiple permission set licenses. Based on that, feature licenses is nothing but like allowing them a role. Like say you are saying apart from these many things, this marketing he should be a marketing user also. So suppose you are creating a standard user, so there are different roles when you will create a user. So when you are creating a user, so you are, suppose you are creating a standard user. So in Salesforce, standard user is a one who will not have administrative access. He will be able to access the things and data like contact records, opportunities, but uh, they will not have some, like they cannot create a campaign like. So if you want a particular standard user to have a campaign, to create a campaign alone, you can just assign them this feature feature license, so they will be entitled to use that. Okay, so that is one thing. Then what do we have in our slide? Company information. Okay, so we were just going through the company information. Okay, so those were the licenses which we discussed. Okay, then in here you can say your organization name and this all I think we discussed, right? Then so newsletter is nothing but your company is creating some newsletter, and um, that kind of newsletter can be circulated to all the employees. So that kind of check, that kind of configuration can be done from here. If you don't want this newsletter or admin newsletters, you can just remove it. So we discussed also, apart from these licenses, we also discussed what is we can just deactivate this organization. And this organization will deactivate it. Also, you can see for when we are maintaining a company information in Salesforce, apart from these licenses and these, we have this phone, fax. What is the default local? We were discussing like mostly it is English, but Salesforce also supports different other locales also. Mostly stable version. I mean, stable is this one only. They have French, Spanish. Those also quite stable. But yeah, default local. When we created, it just took this one. Also, you can see improved date value accuracy. What is this for? I don't know this. Okay, that it could be something. Improved date value. I don't know this. If they have added a new feature for a company profile, if we will need it, we will see. I will just find it out for you guys. Then we have this current locale. Okay, this is the current locale, which we have USD used data space. Okay, so when so this is your organization profile. You can see your organization profile here, and in your organization profile you can also see how much data. So when you'll create an organization on Salesforce, So Salesforce will give you a particular data, like this much of space you can have on Salesforce. So how you can just see how whatever you have bought from Salesforce, in that how much data you have utilized. So once you'll click, you will see like how much data opportunity you have taken. So it is 18%. I think I have created some opportunities or leads, how many leads it's there. So data storage, file storage. So data storage, how much? 5 MB. Okay. I and then file storage 20 MB. And in that we have used 346 KB and 110 KB this one. So you can see this API request. API request is your Salesforce will have a multiple data. Okay. I mean, you are maintaining data for your organization, and you can expose that data. I mean, if there is any other application, outside application, maybe you have your own application which you are running somewhere, and uh, that that application requires data like whatever you have maintained onto Salesforce. So that one you can integrate here. So whenever it will ask this one, whenever it will ask Salesforce, that will just get, it will just check how many API requests have happened to Salesforce. So in 24 hours with this account, you can only have 15,000 max. Okay, streaming API events. So this is also kind of how many APIs you can consume. So there is two things. While you are exposing your API from Salesforce, like other external application will be using this Salesforce data, and there is other thing like Salesforce is using other applications APIs and using those. So that is one thing. Restricted login current month. Okay, so it is saying like how many logins are restricted. It is saying 0 and 0 max. Okay, we haven't restricted any login so far onto this. Salesforce.com organization ID. So whenever you will create an organization ID, so it will have a unique ID. So with every Salesforce org, there is this unique ID which gets created. So whenever external app or anything have to integrate, they just ask this organization ID, and with those organization ID, they can just access some data out of it. Clear to you guys, this one?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Then we have this organization edition. So it is, there could be a different edition. Like we created it as a developer edition. There are other edition also, like what we say. Um, there could be like this one we created as a developer edition. So if you remember when we're creating, we have a different edition. So edition means this is a developer account. When you want to go to production account, there could be a different edition. Then instance, like on what instance this is running, and then modified by. So I only created this. So which was the last date? Did I made any changes on to? I think this is September. Okay, this is DDYYYY format. So this is the month which I, so in September only I think I have modified. So this is that one. And yeah, so this is month. This is month. And it got created in August, this account. So this is about this company information which we have. Okay.
Okay.
So this is what we were seeing, organization detail. We saw the user license. We saw what is permission set license. We also saw what is feature license and what is users based entitlement fiscal year. Okay, so in the company profile, We have company profile, data production policy, fiscal, holidays, language setting, my domain. So fiscal year we discussed like an organization can have two kind of fiscal year in which they are maintaining their records and data. Okay, so those record and data could be okay. It was just suggesting something I think down here. Okay, if your fiscal set to quarterly, changing your fiscal year start month will delete existing forecast. Okay, so fiscal year, I said like, or we company can maintain their records and data for a particular set of period. So that is called fiscal year. So you can have a fiscal standard fiscal year which starts from January, or you can say which starts from month. Okay, and what is this fiscal year based on? Like this fiscal year starts with this January or it ends on January. So we can just create based on those. Also, you can have a custom fiscal year. Okay, so custom fiscal year is like you are not going with the standard fiscal year, like it is monthly wise, but you want to create your fiscal year based on weekly basis, like it is 4 week, 2 week, or 5 weeks fiscal year in which you are creating, maintaining your record. So if you enable this, you will not be able to again go back to standard fiscal year, but you will not be able to create this fiscal year. I mean, based on the January and all. So that is one thing. So this is pretty basic when your organization is being created. That time only company can decide like what kind of fiscal year they want to follow, in which they want to maintain their record. So this is about the fiscal year. Okay, then after fiscal year, holidays. Okay. In company, we have holidays. Okay. So like one company can have different holidays. Okay. So you can just create a holiday, like suppose for a company, you want to create, so every 25th you have this Christmas. So you want to create Christmas holiday. Okay, I don't know if whether this is correct or not. Okay, Christmas. So on every 25th December, we have this Christmas holiday. Okay, so this is throughout all the country. So you can say like this is recurring. Okay, so this is a recurring. You can just check this box and it will give you option when it can recur, when it will recur. So on for your company, you can create this Christmas holiday, which will be all which will be applicable to which will be recurring, like it will be recurring every December 25th. Okay, and it will just start. We are starting from coming, and if we want, we can just set this also. Okay, but we can say like there is no end date as long as our organization is this leave will be applicable. So you can just save it. Okay. Also, we can
So we
have
can add like multiple holidays in this, or we have to change on a basis of holidays, like when their holidays are coming. So in that way, we have to just update the details.
elapsed holiday. I think we can create, like you see, we have Christmas. Okay, you have created one holiday, Christmas.
So this
Also,
will,
so you have created this Christmas holiday, right? Here also you can give some description over there like this. Let's go back again and say this description for US Christmas holiday. Let's say Christmas holiday. Okay, so this is Christmas holiday. You can just save it. So your one holiday is created. Okay. So when you'll
Mm.
go into holiday, so this is a holiday detail of that Christmas. But you can, of course, you can create multiple holidays because for our organization, this will not be the only holiday
Mm.
which will be effective. So create, you'll have to go to holiday list view. This is the holiday list view, and in that you can create another holiday, and you can say whether like we are creating today, it is September. So suppose we are just next month we are seeing what our holidays could be, or next year, suppose this in September we will decide the calendar for this, our company will decide the next holiday, I mean
Mm.
next year 2023 holiday. So you can just
Yes.
start making those. So this one could be Holi, let's say Holi. Okay, so this Holi, maybe your company is operating into two different cities. Like in India, suppose it is operating into two different cities, one in Bangalore and one in New Delhi. So there could be possibility like one festival for a single festival, there could be different dates.
Dates, yeah, not for
Yeah.
holiday.
So we can just create like Holi Noida. And this Holy Noda will be in March 2023, and it will be somewhere around 13th. Okay, and it is for all days. You can see like this holiday is for all day. Okay,
Mm.
and suppose you want to create suppose there is a code freeze or something. Okay, or if there is what Thanksgiving. Maybe Thanksgiving Day. For Thanksgiving Day, we have some what 5 days of holiday.
Mm.
So it started with 13th and when to when the timing we can say like what is the day. Okay, and we can just save this. So maybe you can just create one holiday and see what all possibilities it gives to you. It is pretty basic, but just check how you can create the holiday. You
Mm.
create one holiday
Mm.
and see the possibilities, and then we'll move forward.
Yes,
Okay.
Sujat, we are done.
All right.
Mm.
Let me. Okay. So then there is this language setting. Okay. So for this, am I audible to you now?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So this language setting, let's cancel this as you are done with your holiday. Then we have language setting. Okay, so for your company, you can see like these many language settings are there, which you can assign. So it basically don't have Hindi. That is okay with us. So
Mhm.
these many language settings are there: English, German, Spanish, French. So suppose with the user you want to do some language setting. So for particular, so it is saying like your company have these many language which it's supporting. So suppose a user is logged in and he want to see things. Where is this language setting? They have changed this setting. User. So if as a user, okay, where is this language? My page, my personal information setting. Okay, I think when customer can now just can change the setting. I just want to see around language and time zone. Yes. So here you see they have this language and time zone where you can see all the languages are there for this particular user. So when I clicked here and when I clicked on this particular setting, it just landed us on the user setting. And in this user setting, I just wanted to just land onto this in my personal information. I just wanted to land onto language and time zone. So instead of this, I want French. Let me save this. It's taking so long. Okay, now you see, you
Yeah.
can see
The languages
this
are there.
languages got changed, right? And your Google browser can detect like this is not the language, this language is apart from French, and it is giving you this option to translate it.
Yes.
Okay, so this translation is based on the HTML, but this is what your Salesforce just provide internally. Okay, so this Google translation is works on top of the page. Okay, so you can just
Okay.
click onto this, just should not bother you. So let's go back to English, and it's you see it's very confusing. Okay, so now we are on to English.
English.
So everything is English here. Then this is what sales. Let's go to setup again. So you guys can just change the language and see
Mhm.
how if you want to change a language, how you can change that. So there could be a request coming for you, like for particular. So maybe your company can be into 2 or 3 different countries. So if your company is into France, maybe maybe you just have to create a language setting for France also. So in the language setting, you can have like you can support your company can support. Just a minute, let me search for the company for the language setting. Maybe your company. So let me say like we only our company is only in Germany and Spain and France. Okay, not in these countries. So what we can do, we can just remove these and These are the only languages which our company is supporting. So you can just save it. Okay. And now if you'll just go as your user and you want to change the language, you see, you have only these options available.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. So maybe you can just do this exercise quickly and let me know, and then we will move forward. Just change the language for your current
Mm.
user and see if it is reflecting for you or not.
Yeah, it is reflecting in the home page.
Okay. You're
Chinese.
done. You are also done, right, Rahul? Is Rahul with us? Oh, yeah.
Rahul, yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was on mute. Yeah, I'm also done.
All right. Okay. Then let's go back again in our setup and let's find our company. Oh, okay. So let's go to setting. Okay, then we have company and we saw this language setting. Then we have data protection. Okay, let me open my slide. Okay, so that was the language setting. Where is the data protection? Here I haven't created data protection. Just a minute. User management is there. Language setting. Okay, so let's go and see what is this data protection. So I think I haven't kept it into my slide, but this is there. Company profile. In the company profile only, we have data protection. Okay, so there could be a different global data protection. So one, like if you know, there are different data protection laws in different countries. So one is very famous, which we HIPAA.
Yeah.
You may have heard about HIPAA, right? So HIPAA is a US data protection law.
mm,
Just ensures like health and so insurance portability and accountability act. So it is one of the US uh, data protection law, especially for the insurance companies, which just if there is any company operating into US, they have to follow this act. Will not follow, they will be liable to. I mean, they will be legally doing the mistakes. Okay, and if they are doing the legal mistake, they are very strict about that, so they can charge a lot on your company and put pressure to you for you to on you to compensate. If you remember, um, uh, even Google, their data protection law is very strict. Even Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, and even Google CEO have to
mm,
go into court and they have to clarify what till what amount their they are just sharing their data and how much data is protected of their company.
Yeah, it happened with Facebook.
Yeah, it was very viral actually of Mark
Mhm.
Zuckerberg. He have to declare, or he have to say like what all information he steals of a customer.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that is HIPAA. Apart from HIPAA, there are other laws also. Okay, so that is related to data protection. So we can see like data protection, global laws globally. Okay, so there could be many. United Nations have some data protection law and all. So yeah, GDPR. GDPR, if you'll see what is the full form of GDPR, it is also uh, very famous. Like this is a general data protection. This European Union have their own data protection regulation. So if you are violating it, you can be called. I mean, it's in their constitution itself.
Okay.
So if you are violating it, you will be entitled to go to jail. Your company can be fined a lot. So that is what I'm telling is this company will, if suppose you have this data protection, if you're operating, your company is operating into certain countries, they have to follow this data protection global laws. And if those data protection laws are enabled for your company, then you when suppose a user, there is a user, and that user have uh s- I mean selected that they don't want newsletter for your company. Okay, and if you're sending a newsletter to them, it they are violating their you're violating their consent. So it could be one of the data protection law fraud. Also suppose your company is working, your company is selling some kind of BP machine. Suppose you are monitoring the blood pressure. Okay, so some hospitals maybe may want who are purchasing these kind of blood pressure machines from you. So it could be beneficial for them because they will know like they are potential customer of there, right? So it is
Mhm.
kind of breach of data. So the companies cannot do, and if it is enabled, they cannot share. Like whenever they will be shared, no, whenever they will go ahead and share your detail, then your Salesforce will not allow. I mean, because you have already, as an admin, you have already selected it to not uh, do that. Okay, so let's go back again and see here the data protection. If we have the data protection here, where is this? Yeah, data protection and privacy. Yeah. Okay. So here it's already checked. So what it's saying is if you once you will go, it's saying like uh give access to data protection and privacy details in lead contact and person account record. The individual object stores details about data protection and privacy preferences, the way you can respect your customer wishes for how you handle their personal data. Okay, and this is
Okay.
checked, you see. So if you don't want to follow this data protection details in the records, maybe you can just uncheck. So you will be giving your records, right? You will be collecting, if you are a chain of hospital, you will be collecting multiple records of customer illness. So you cannot just share those. So you have to. What it's saying is, it's basically contact and person account records. You cannot just share. Let's save this. Okay, so that is what about the data protection and privacy. for a company. Okay, I have maintained, I think here in the user management. Okay, so it is not, sorry, it doesn't come under company profile, but it comes under user management. So there are different regulations which you can see, like GDPR is one, General Data Protection Regulation, personal information protection is of Japan, like, and then HIPAA is from USA, Privacy Act, one of the act which Australia have for this data protection. Similarly, PIPEDA, there is this Personal Information Protection and Electronics Document Act in Canada. That is one. Okay. Then we have users. Okay, so Salesforce, we can create in Salesforce, we can create user. And with this section, we will see while creating the user, what all profile we can select, what are the permission sets which we can give. Also, if you remember, we were just in the company profile, you are seeing the feature licenses. So while creating the user, what feature license we can assign, login, what is the login process for the user, also how we can freeze or unfreeze the account of a user, uh, whether if we want to disable or delete that user, how we can collect the user login history when that user logged in, logged out. Uh, if we want to unlock the users, we want to reset the password. So those all can be done here into Salesforce. Okay, so let's go to users into our Salesforce. This is our setup. Let's go to users. Okay, in the users, let's click on this users. So once you are here in the setup, and once you search the users, you will see the list view of users. So we have these many users, you can see. Okay, and this is the user got created with my email ID. So these many users are there. These are already, these apart from this, these are created automatically with this account. Okay, so Salesforce just give option to create multiple user at a time. So if you click on this, add multiple users, you can see like if you want to create a multiple user, what all licenses you can use. So I was just showing you initially in the company profile, we have multiple licenses. Salesforce, I said like this Salesforce licenses widely used in most of the companies. As this is our developers account, it is only allowing us two accounts. One is already there and one more it is allowing us to create. So if I will take you to the company profile, uh, let me open it here. So, company information. Let's click into new tab. Into this company information, you see these are the user licenses. Salesforce external app login. So it is that only. So here you can see we have the total two licenses. One license is already there with my account, which is already there here. I'll have to go back for that. Wait. Users and into the users. Yeah, this user already got created with that license. Okay, so let's go to add multiple users again. So these are those licenses. Okay, here you can select like Salesforce. So this is what I was saying, like widely being used. So if you are clicking onto this, you see it is allowing me to add only one user. Okay, only one user can be created. And if you will select what this external app login license. External app login. Where are you? Where are you? Well, let's say this chatter free. Okay, we have chatter free here. Chatter. External app login is there. Work.com. Okay, let me identity work.com. Yeah, work.com is there. So it have three total licenses. So it is allowing you see only 3 licenses. External app login is what? I think it is different name here. Chatter partner app, post.com, chatter external. Yeah, you see chatter external have 10. Okay. So like these are those licenses we can use while creating multiple user. But yeah, this is the widely used uh, license with your application. So when you will create your user from this license, you are saying like you will have most of the your user can have most of the permission which is available into Salesforce. Okay, so you're not limiting your Salesforce user, like it cannot be there. They cannot be extended later to use a different application of Salesforce. So let me cancel this, and that was one related to adding multiple user. Then we have this reset password. So you may have a different many what do we say, many users here, and uh, in a certain period of time you want them to reset their password. So you can just click it and you can just click on the reset password and they will get a mail to just reset their password. Okay, also you can just reset it from here. Okay, so it's asking, I think, okay, a new password of the following has been sent via mail. You see, it is being sent to the mail, and there you will have to reset your password. So as I have clicked it, I will have to reset this password. I don't know. I'm still logged in, right? Yes, still logged in. So later, I think I will have to reset this password. Okay, so that is the reset password, and that was about adding multiple users. From here, you can create a new user. So let's create new user. Once you will click on this, you will have this kind of interface where you will have a different details for users of Salesforce. So first name, you can say I'm creating a user. That username is, what do we say? Learner. Learner one. Okay. And last name is required. So you can say David, or let's say, why I'm not getting names in my mind. Pooja Sharma. Okay, there is Pooja Sharma. Aliases will just create by its own. So now the aliases you can ignore also, because earlier what was happening on to records, we were seeing this aliases, but now this aliases are no more being shown there. Now the full name is being shown, like Pooja Sharma.
Mhm.
Whole will be shown. So that is one thing. Email, you need to create a unique. So I have another email address, mail to Rajat Singh 1 gmail.com. I have given that. And you see, these should be unique. Okay.
Mhm.
So username, should email should not be this username should not be used onto this developer, any of the developer platform ever onto Salesforce. So it is unique and you will be able to create it with this user. Okay, title you can give Mr. or anything, whatever you want. It is not those mandatory. Division you can specify if you have your company have a multiple divisions, you can allocate one of the division to this user. Then a role you can say so this role is uh, like in your company you may have a different roles. So
Mm.
CEO, CFO, channel sales teams. So you let's say we are creating a role for CEO. So you can select the CEO, user license. You I said like let's choose user license as a Salesforce as it's widely used. Profile you can select like what is the what profile you want for this user, like that you have given this role CEO, but you want the profile of standard user, like this CEO, this is the role, but from this role you are creating a standard user. Okay,
Mm.
so a standard user so it is not an admin. Okay, so administrator will have all the access. Standard user will have a limited access. He will just he can do the standard things. He cannot make
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
hello.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
we
were not
lost you.
ordered.
Yeah, actually I was dropped for a while.
Okay.
Mhm.
There is this internet disconnect because of that. मेरा इंटरनेट ना चला यहाँ पे लाइट चला गया था. Let me
Okay.
do one thing. My screen is visible to you or
Yeah.
Yes,
stopped?
yes. Oh, screen is also
Okay.
visible.
Okay, screen is visible. Okay. So that is one thing. Then that is the profile of standard user we are creating, saying like this is a standard user role you have decided as a CEO. Then being a standard user, it will have a standard capabilities only. But if you want it to create campaign and all, you can say like this have a marketing access. So you can just check this box and say that this is a marketing user. Then likewise, you have in Salesforce, there is this different services. So for this, if you are checking on offline user and all, it have different capabilities. So you will be using Salesforce license, like you are saying like uh, you are giving this user access to act as a offline user also, and that may cost you something. I mean some things cost, something doesn't cost. So it's like using the capabilities of Salesforce. So you can just use those if you want. Data.com user type. So data.com on Salesforce, data.com is a platform from where you can pull the data. Like if like Naukri.com have, if any company want to take the information, if wants to use the information, of who is working. If suppose any recruiter wants to, if you have to recruit some user. Okay, so you can just go on to Naukri and you can just pull the data from there, right? So likewise, data.com is one of the platform of Salesforce which just provides the data, but it just charges you something. Okay, so with this, this customer will be able to log in into this and he will be able to pull the data out of it. Okay, from this data.com, how much data he can pull? It's around 300 records, I think. He can pull based on the organization. You can just keep the limit over here. Accessibility mode. Okay, you can also say like while creating whether this user will be classic. When he will log in, he should only see the classic view or not. Also, what other things are there into this content user receive alerts on digest? Okay, then you can decide the mailing address for this particular user. Single sign-on is a feature uh, with which you can just log in from the same credentials. You can log in into different applications. So not only credentials. So if you know from if you are logging into one SharePoint of the Microsoft, you will be able to access Teams and everything. Likewise, the single sign-on is working for Salesforce also. So if there is anything, we can just define it and it should work. Then locale setting of this user. Okay, what is the locale? Those settings, and as our organization only supports these many language, we can just select those. Okay, we can delegate.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Power cut to get sense.
Mm,
Hello.
yeah, we lost you again for some sec few seconds.
So screen is visible now for you.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay, so here let's say delegate approver. So this is the delegate approver. You can just select it. Okay, only if I am approved. Okay, so let's save this. Your organization total monthly addition limit is 6,000 record page down. You can increase individual limit to more than 3 records. Okay, so it is it is this one. This is the paid service, I think. So you can create it. You cannot. I mean, you can select that also, but I just deselected it because it was just giving me warning like these are the things you will be paid or something. I don't know.
Mm,
Okay, so our user got created. So Pooja Sharma got created here. Okay.
Yeah.
So here Pooja Sharma have these many details. Username is Pooja Sharma and she is using my email address. I don't know why. Okay.
No, you have given your email ID, no? That's the reason.
Yeah. I'm just joking about that. Okay, so so this user have these details and here these are permission set assignments. So you can just, apart from this, you can also just
Assignments.
give the permission, whatever assignment you want to, like it is a commerce admin, those all
Okay.
permissions you can set here.
Mm,
So that
Then
permission set assignment is related to division of the company, na? But that division finance, it was showing
yes,
commerce.
yes, it is kind of
Yeah, like
division, but it is kind of you can understand like it is kind of setting a permission to user, like what all things he can access. So
mhm.
if he is a commerce admin, if he is
hmm,
a commerce admin, suppose he will be able to see what all things. So this is a custom permission set. Okay, so this is standard permission set which is already provided by Salesforce. But
Salesforce.
you can
Okay.
have
Mhm.
your own permission sets, okay? And those you can assign to this customer. Like you can say like this customer which we have created can only access uh,
This
the
section or
purchases
area.
of the customer, okay?
Mhm.
Like
Because
that.
these, I mean, whatever names are there, it looks like the division, I mean, specified with
Yeah.
divisions,
Yeah.
order
So
management agent,
yeah,
contact
you're right,
center.
Rahul. So these are the standard one. You can have
Yeah,
your, if you'll see any organization, they can have a custom one and it can
yeah.
be a
Mm,
huge and very different.
mm,
Mhm.
mm.
I just saw shopper over there. Shopper. Yeah, you see shopper. So it can shop for your company.
Hmm.
Slack service user. I don't know if it is will have permission to modify Slack or something, maybe. Okay, then it is set assignment. Here you see login history. So we are not seeing the login history because this customer got created, but this customer never logged in, right?
Mm-hmm.
This customer. So for this, if I'll open my email, I think that email is not there with me. Okay, I'll share with you guys. So these are all email I have logged in with. This is my email ID. Okay, so if I log in Gmail, you see verify your account. It came right.
Hmm.
So once you will create your account, it will ask you to verify. So here you will have to reset your password. And once you will come on to this page,
Only Gmail, I mean, it counts, or I mean, any other, I mean, another like
any
Hotmail
other
or
any
Yahoo
other
or
email
Any
address.
email ID will be fine.
So if I'll just reload it, I just wanted you to show. Well, I just wanted to see whether the history is being maintained there or not for my users. So even if I have just went there to reset password, it should just log, I think. Sharma. Yeah, you see it logged.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Log the
So that's
detail.
showing now.
Though I haven't reset the password, it knew that we just went there. Okay, so here you can just download all the history of this user. Okay, also what we have user provisioning account. What is this user provisioning account? You can connect. You can use a connected app to link your users with a third party app. Okay, so it's basically provisioning your.
Provisioning or like similar to licensing or something.
Yeah, it is basically saying like we are providing we are uh, this user will have a provision to log in from the external app also. Okay, so it is basically like you can use a connected app to link your users with a third party app also. So it's basically saying like this users will be able to log into Salesforce from the external app also, third party app also. Okay, if
Mm-hmm.
your company is providing such kind of integration with that third party. So it is that login history authentication setting for external system. Okay, so this is some kind of authentication system which can authenticate. So as you are giving a provision for this user to log in into account, you can set some kind of permission here. Okay, some authentication rules. Installed mobile app. You can configure. I think you can. Why there is no option here? Okay, I think it will just come here once you will start using the application on your external application on your mobile. OAuth connected application. Authentication is a key where you can say like it is kind of a key which uses onto different to log in into different applications. So if you know, like if you want to log into different application, you can just log in from the Google also, right? So
Okay.
sometimes what happens if you are going into what do we say, any portal like Udemy, suppose
Hmm.
I am going to Udemy, udemy.com. Okay, so here in the udemy.com, if I have to log in, okay, so I can log in with the Facebook,
Yeah, yeah.
Google,
Google,
or
Apple.
Apple.
Yes.
So
Okay.
this is one thing. You can log into those account also with saying like Google is
Okay.
a standard, and with their details we can just access their limited details. In If they are saying like, if Google is saying this is a legitimate customer, maybe I'm good with that and I will allow them to log into my platform. So that is what the OAuth system is.
Okay.
And here we can just decide the hierarchy here when we'll see it, and we can just see if it is assigned to any team or not. So what
Yes.
you guys do, you guys just create a user, okay, today.
Today. Yeah.
And then if you'll get any difficulty, tomorrow we will see, and we'll resolve those.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Ajit.
Yes, thanks.